Well, Tracy, we are still being kept back from this church because the work here is not done. You can see the damage that the fire did to this building, and the steeple and bell tower up there, that is basically gone. We watched them burn when we saw you at 11 a.m. And if we swing around here, I can show you that the crane that crews have been waiting for has now arrived. They are hoping, fire officials hoping, that that will help them to get into what is left of the building.
Flames shooting out of this Pottstown church, fire and smoke filling the air in the neighborhood.
My daughter woke me up around 5:36-ish and said she heard someone screaming outside that the church was on fire. So we got out, we got the dog out. My husband was already at his shop.
I talked to Sheila Dugan as firefighters continued their work, and the fire continued to burn in the steeple portion of the church.
We brought in structural engineers. There was actually a bell in there, an old brass bell, and they felt it was safer to let that burn off and collapse into the building rather than that steeple tipping one way or the other.
Crews preparing for the next steps.
The whole building's going to have to come down.
About 2 blocks of residents were evacuated. The chief says just the house next door was damaged.
How close is your home to the fire?
We are right next to it.
Right next to it.
Right next to it.
Back with Sheila Dugan.
I know that side of my house is pretty much a mess. The windows are all broken out. There's brick, there's wood broken out.
Dugan says she's been concerned about people getting into the church. Another resident also expressing concern.
What is it like seeing this so close to your home?
Terrifying, because I predicted this last week that somebody homeless is going to start a fire, or kids.
The fire chief says they don't know the origin or the cause of the fire yet. The police chief confirming to us they did arrest homeless individuals for trespassing inside the church this week and last week, but he says they didn't find any sign of a fire and the property owner secured the building. Today, through the flames and the smoke and the aftermath, a lot of waiting for residents here.
Just worried about the church falling and going towards my house and breaking stuff, because their cars are still on the street.
At the other end of the street, another church offering hot coffee and a place to stay.
Just going to get them a safe, warm place to stay until we're able to figure out what's next.
And as you look back out here live at what is left of this church, the fire chief tells us that they won't be able to let people back into their homes until they know that the Chestnut Street side of this behind me is safe. And he did say crews are expected to be out here all night. Live in Pottstown, I'm Lauren Mayk, NBC 10 News.